Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode of Crush Your Land, where I'll be talking with a very good friend who I've known and worked with for many years, someone my kids call Uncle John, someone who claims my wife as his daughter, and someone that is truly special to me and my family. So the Land Method Senior Advisor, and not because of his age, but because of how he has helped so many investors become successful, whether it's helping you get started, the nuggets of information that he's provided to many, many students, as well as the number one thing I always say is putting student over profit. So everybody, please help welcoming me. Please help me in welcoming a good friend of mine and someone that, again, is very, very dear to our heart, John Hearn. What's
Hello,
up, John?
everyone. What's going on, G?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing today? How you feeling?
I'm doing well. You know, I always say, if I'm above ground and breathing air, it's a great day.
It's
I'm
a
on the
great
right
day,
side
right?
of the dirt.
That's cool, man. Well, I'm glad to have you on today, man. I know a lot of students have talking with you. I know most people don't really get to see who you are much, maybe in the
Yeah.
Facebook group and so forth and so on. So we just wanted to take today out and let our students, our followers, and everybody get to know who you are a little bit. Get to know you a little bit more, and hopefully they'll, get some great information out of today. So, with that being said, man, let's just jump right into it.
Okay.
But before I do, for everyone watching, listening, if you have any questions, put them in the comments, and we'll get them answered at the end. All right. So, with that being said, John, let's get right into it, man. Tell me, or tell everyone, not just me, where you're from, a little bit about yourself and your life and all the stuff growing up in the South, man.
Okay. Well, I was born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina, so I'm very Southern. Grew up in a Christian home. I had both parents in my home. Thank God I was blessed for that. Then I got into golf, and that was wild because, with a black kid in the South carrying golf clubs on the bus. So, my buddies, they really gave it to me.
That's for sure.
Yeah. But for some reason, I love golf. It was my passion. So I stuck with it through all the mess and got a scholarship to South Carolina State University. When I was there, it was called South Carolina State College. And so I have my degree in business admin with a minor of accounting, which is the reason I don't have any hair right now.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So, with all that going on, what's been going on in your life recently that you expected and that you didn't expect, like just in general, man?
Okay, well, one thing I expected was I'm getting ready for my retirement. When you get up into your younger years, it's time to slow it down. What I did not expect was for the land business to be as lucrative and a great opportunity as it is right now. I feel like right now is the best time to get into land, compared to wholesaling houses, storage units, things of that nature. Land is still a baby.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. So, overall, just in general, like, what would you say is the most difficult thing that you've gone through, and how did you overcome it?
You mean in business or in life?
In business and life, I mean, just anything in general. Like, when I talked, when Keely interviewed me, I kind of talked about my Bell's palsy that I got 20 years ago almost, and I mean, it had nothing to do with business. It was more personal, but I mean, so it could be business or personal. It doesn't matter.
Okay. So in life, all the loss that I've incurred through the years, all my siblings, my first wife, and the way I got through it was, I hope this doesn't offend anyone, but I'm very Southern, I'm very Christian, was through the power of God. Gee, I mean, you know me.
Absolutely. I know that.
Yeah, you were there and your family was there to help me through that time.
Yeah.
So, I think that's the most difficult personal. Then I would say in business, it's shifting from houses to land and getting used to not having to do all the hassles. I mean, that probably sound crazy, but there's so many hassles with houses, and then getting used to, wow, isn't something else going to happen? You know, when we started doing land, it was just so cut and dry. It was just almost amazing and so simple that we wanted to add something into it.
Yeah. So going into that, I mean, tell everyone a little bit about how we met. I mean, you know, me and you've been, you know, obviously been working together for a long time, man. We've known each other basically almost since I moved to Charlotte from Ohio. And so talk a little bit about that, man, how we met and, you know, that good stuff.
Okay, so I don't know how long ago it's been because I've been knowing you seem like forever. But we met working for another expert, and that expert was in houses, you know, doing wholesaling and things of that nature. And then I noticed you had the desire to learn what we were doing. And so I watched you for a while. You were always looking for money to do flips, and, you know, you have a family. I don't have kids and things of that nature. So, you know, I lend you a couple of dollars here and there. And then I saw that you were being successful. So I said, hey, let me jump on the boat too. So, you know,
so that's a little bit about now from how we met to like how you got into the real estate world.
Right. I got into
stuff.
it watching you. And we met actually working for another big expert in wholesaling houses. We weren't doing land. So then as time went on, you transitioned over to land, and I like that a whole lot better. So, you know, I start doing a deal or two here or there. I'm not really a huge investor. I'm behind the scenes. I'm old now, as you call me every day. And so I'm getting ready for my retirement. I'm more so into this helping other people, you know.
And just a little bit about that. I mean, me and John had met, I think it was 09-ish.
It's been a while.
Kind of like, you know, I was doing some stuff already. I just wasn't like very consistent like most people when they get started, right? I had a little bit of experience already from doing a few deals, but I wasn't really, you know, I was still working and trying to like kind of make ends meet and doing deals and all that good stuff all at once. And so I used to work with another big time investor down in South Carolina, a super awesome person, awesome individual.
He sure is.
I haven't talked to them in a few years, but man, absolutely was a very good person overall. And was doing massive deals as well. I mean, we had a whole in-house team of people just doing deals. And so I would kind of, you know, run over there and learn a little bit about, you know, how to do things a little bit better, more efficient. And, you know, I mean, we had everything at our fingertips at the time. So I took advantage of it at the end of the day. And that's how I ended up getting my real estate license and doing all of that stuff as well. So yeah, when you say that, and then, you know, that's when I ended up opening up my own kind of consulting with these big speakers as well. And as soon as I did, I kind of called John up maybe 4 or 5 months after I started on my own. I said, hey, you know, I could use some help. And, you know, boom, you've been working with me ever since, man. Like literally to this day. So what do you love most about talking with investors and helping investors every day? I mean, what do you love most about that?
What I love the most about that, Ginis, is that seeing someone start out with little or no experience, leading and guiding them, and then I get what I consider to be the call. And the call is, John, I did a deal. So to me, there's no price tag you can put on that. That's what I do this for. That's why I talk to people. I try to encourage people. Once in a while, I'll get on them, you know. But to see them change their life and the people life that they love, you know, because this isn't going to change your life or mine. I mean, we're in this to help change other people's life.
That's absolutely true. That's
what I enjoy the most.
And you and I worked for Another big land speaker in the past for quite some time, and more than one.
Yeah.
And what do you say is the difference from working with, the other speaker that we did when it came to the land stuff versus, working with Jonathan at this point? I know you and I have worked together for a while, so you know who I am. Like I said, I mean, we're like family, but like with Jonathan and working with Jonathan compared to previous speakers that we've worked with, I mean, what would you say is the biggest difference?
Well, it's like night and day. It's a breath of fresh air, to tell you the truth, because Jonathan actually does deals every day. He's out there with the students. He's out there with you and I in the battlefield, so to speak. Jonathan also cares. When we were with the other land speaker and we kind of got lost in the shuffle, I kind of felt like I was just perfect, just help me grow this business and keep your mouth closed and, yada, yada, yada. But with Jonathan, we're a family. I get to give feedback and input and everything. I notice how he goes out of his way to help people on our Facebook page. He doesn't have to do that. The average guru will charge for the questions that Jonathan answers free. So with him, with you and with me, it's truly a family-oriented company, and we're not really about, it's a business. I'm not blowing smoke at anybody, but that's not our number one priority. It is not. Our number one priority is really, really helping people, letting them know that we got your back, and it's somebody that didn't take your money and say thank you back.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's absolutely true. I mean, at the end of the day, we like the small mom and pop feel. We like everybody to feel like, that we truly do help. I mean, at the end of the day, we are truly doing this business. And I mean, that's why, like, for example, for our coaching students, I mean, we have myself and Jonathan have a DM group chat with them. So instead of emailing us and, spending time, just trying to schedule a call for a 5-minute conversation, just send us a message via DM. We'll answer your question literally most times within 5 or 10 minutes. If I'm available or Jonathan's available, it's so simple to do. And we know most people aren't doing that. And the reason why we are doing it is because, again, we're trying to be different at the end of the day. So just kind of going back to just yourself now, what's one lesson that you've learned that you think everyone should learn at some point in their life?
There's no shortcut to success. It takes work, it takes consistency, and it takes some commitment and passion. It's something that's worth having. It's just not going to fall out of the sky. You're going to have to put forth some type of effort. You're going to have to take some type of action. And then you're going to have to be consistent at it. Mm-hmm. I think that's where a lot of people, get lost is they'll do something for a week or two. Then there's this little thing called life that throws distractions at you, and then you put it off. And then it's like you got to come back and start up fresh again. If you can just, speaking of a business, any business, if you just set aside a time as if you were going to that 9 to 5 that you're in the rat race in, it doesn't have to be a lot. You just set aside an hour, but just be consistent about it, have passion about it, and know that, hey, my hard work eventually is going to pay off.
Yeah, and that's great, and that's great that you say that, because I mean, at the end of the day, I think for all of us humans, I mean, I think that's the hardest thing in the world is to be consistent, and no matter what you're doing. I mean, I talk to my daughter about this all the time, John. My daughter plays. I mean, a lot of people know my daughter plays basketball. My daughter plays softball at a pretty high level, and it's a consistent thing with me. Is, I mean, me getting up, like this morning, I'm up at 4:30 a.m. Take her to the gym at 5 to 6:30. To bring her home. My wife makes her some breakfast, take her to school. Now she won't get home till 8, 9 o'clock tonight because she got basketball after school. She got softball training, hitting. So it's an everyday thing, but then she'll go like 3 or 4 days where she doesn't do it. And then, once you don't do it for 1 or 2 days, like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, it's like, okay, I'll do it tomorrow because I just don't feel like doing it right now. And then next thing you know, a week passes by.
That's
And
right.
now you're like behind the ball or where you should be, right? And I'll make a great point here is I was having a conversation with my daughter the other day with Mariah, and she's like, Dad, I got to get back in the gym because she took like a few weeks off because she was focusing more on softball than basketball. And I kept telling her, well, you got basketball season coming up. Fall season for softball is about to finish. So you got to get your butt back in the gym to get, well, they started workouts, and that's the only kind of training she's been doing. And they were practicing against the boys the other day, and she didn't have a good day. And she came and she texted me, and I got a text I can show. And she said, Dad, I need to get my butt back in the gym. Like, if I got to do 2 a days. I said, you see, now, if you did not stop all of the hard work you were doing, now you kind of took a step backwards. So now you got to work twice as hard to kind of catch back up. So just be.
And it's like she got to start over again.
Yeah, it feels like it, even though you already know what you got to do. It just feels like it's all over again. So I get exactly what you're saying. That was a great point. That's the reason I wanted to bring that up. So I'm going to ask you some questions so people get to know you a little bit more about some of the things you like and don't like and things of that nature. And if you could answer them with a few words or less. And again, anybody, if you guys have questions for John, myself, the land method or anything like that throughout this Crushing Land series that we're doing, just feel free to put them in the comments and we'll get them answered for you towards the end. So what's your favorite drink? I know you're alcoholic, John. A soda.
Now that's an inside joke, y'all. I haven't had a drink since 1999.
It's been a long time.
My favorite drink is a toss-up between Sprite and real fresh made lemonade.
Okay.
Real lemonade. Where I see the lemons in it, not that liquid stuff.
What's your favorite food, John?
Oh, you know that.
I know, but they don't know.
No question. Big juicy ribeye steak. That's my thing.
And trust you me, everybody, I have bought him probably over 100 of those things, but not more than that over the last 10 years.
Absolutely. And
at least 100.
And that steak tastes the best of them all when you pay for it.
Oh, I'm sure. So John, what are your hobbies, man?
I love golf. I love sports. I guess you see I'm always in sports gear, but golf is really my hobby. And then I've gotten into fish keeping. I have probably under the sea in my house. I have 5 aquariums. I have fresh water and salt water, and that keeps me occupied a lot as well. You know, during COVID, when everything shut down, I sort of slacked off on golf. And then at the time, my brother that I normally play golf with, you know, he took ill. Yep. So I slacked down. So it's an inside hobby that I really enjoy. Is fish keeping.
Yeah, how about all them boxes behind you?
Oh, now
that too, huh?
Yeah, that goes hand in hand with my golf. This is my cigar collection, and if you guys look right, let's see, right over here, that's a humidor that you and Mel bought me for Christmas to keep my cigars fresh in.
Yeah. You love some cigars, boy.
Yes, I do.
Every flavor, every price point. I mean, he could open up a cigar shop in his room if he wanted to. He got so
I sure could, but they're not for sale, so don't ask.
Yeah. So, what would you say is your favorite place that you travel to?
In America, Miami. I mean, I just love Miami.
That was my next question I was going to ask you. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? I already know the answer.
You know that's Miami. I love Miami.
Yeah.
And let's see, traveling abroad, I would say Nassau, Bahamas, because my roommate in college was from Nassau, and I finally got to go to his home. And I love the bright, colorful homes over there. And of course, I love the warm weather and beautiful water as well.
What's your favorite sports team, John, overall? I know you got a bunch of them, and I know you're a bandwagon hopper, but what's your favorite one? Notre Dame?
There's no one close.
Over the Yankees and the Lakers?
They're a close second and third, but when it comes, let me tell y'all about Notre Dame. Since you asked me about the South and growing up, and I didn't really elaborate too much on that, but my father hated sports other than pro wrestling. That was it. In his home, you watch wrestling, and that was it. So on Sundays in the South, you go to church. If not, you better be halfway dead if you're not going to church. So I would get up early Sunday mornings, and the Notre Dame football show would be on. So pretty much that was the only football I got to see as a child growing up. And that's how I fell in love with Notre Dame. So no one else is even close. You know, that's way, way back.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, because I know hey, for everybody out there, he likes every team that has one championship. That's it. Notre Dame, either Yankees fan,
yes,
Lakers fan,
yes,
Steelers fan. If you notice, there's one
yes.
common theme with all these teams.
I'm a Panther fan.
And they got the most championships, okay? That's the only common theme that they all have together, because he from Charlotte, North Carolina, and like every other team besides North Carolina.
Yeah, I'm a Panther fan. I'm not a fan of what's going on right now, and I'm a Hornet fan, but if the Panthers are playing the Steelers, they have to have a back seat. If the Hornets are playing the Lakers, they have to have a back seat. And see, now your homeboys on there, so you're a Laker fan too, so hush up.
Well, I'm not a Laker fan, I'm a LeBron fan. So what's your favorite color, and what do you think it says about you?
I would say my favorite color is blue. And it doesn't say that I'm in a bad mood or anything like that. I think it describes me because I love nature, I love outdoors, I love people, and I love to see the Carolina blue sky. I mean, I've always loved blue.
Gotcha. What's your favorite type of music as well as your favorite artist?
Well, I have two. Okay, gospel is what I listen to all the time. And so that would probably be a toss-up between Kirk Franklin and Marvin Sapp. And then I like rap music, believe it or not. And you
totally different sides of the spectrum, huh?
Yeah, but I do like and my favorite artist isn't with us anymore. That was Biggie, Biggie Smalls, for those who don't know. And then now, so there's this female that I don't know if y'all know about, but her name is Cardi B. I like some Cardi.
Her, huh?
Yeah, I like Cardi.
yes, sir. So John, I mean, I know you probably already told us the answer from all of this again, but I'll ask you again, just in case it's something different. What do you enjoy doing on your downtime?
On my downtime? Yeah, playing golf, looking at my fish, sports, going out and eating good food, hanging out with my kids in Columbia, hanging out with my new wife, just family, coming to your house and eating Mel's cooking, which I haven't done in a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while, John. It's been a little while. You told us the last few weeks you was gonna come over and they ain't never showed up. So
yeah, I'm gonna bring my fork. That's what I usually bring.
If you could go back and give your 18-year-old self, actually, you know what? Before that.
Before 18?
No, if you could go back and give your 18-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be?
It would have been to slow down and smell the roses, because when I was a teenager, or in college, I was bulletproof. I didn't think there was ever going to be any problems, didn't have a care in the world. And I just lived day by day. I really did not take advantage of a lot of the opportunities that I had. I didn't take them seriously, being a kid. So a lot of the opportunities that I had, I should have taken a whole lot more serious. But, I live my life to the fullest. I live it to the fullest now. So I don't have any regrets. It's just some life lessons where little things I should have taken better advantage of.
Yep, gotcha. Yeah, that's good advice too, man. What would you say is the best year of your life?
The best year of my life.
Yeah. What year would you say it was?
Now, see, you're trying to get everybody to know how old I am, but it's probably 78 because I graduated high school and I was a freshman in college.
Gotcha. So you got to be the top dog being a senior, right, in high school,
right?
To going into college thinking you was just something you
Yeah,
wasn't.
that's right.
What superpower do you wish you had?
If I could have a superpower pertaining to business, it would be for students to eliminate what if. If I could just get people to eliminate what if, that is the major stumbling block, hurdle, mind messer-upper that I encounter every day. Is if I could just get into their mind and change that what if this, what if that, and it's like it paralyzes people. The analysis paralysis is absolutely true. And I think people tend to feel like the what if is only going to happen to me. It's never happened to anyone else, so there's no answer. There's no answer because this is only going to happen to me. It's never happened before. But if I could just reach into the telephone when I'm speaking to someone and just flick that out of their whole brain, that would be a superpower I would love to have.
It's removing that from everybody, huh?
It's removing that
great information, John.
That what if.
Yeah, now I'm gonna ask you a few more questions.
But one thing, one other thing I like to inject in that, instead of the what if, don't do this or don't do that, why don't they inject what if it works? Yeah. What if other people can do it, I can do it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's that's how it should be. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't know if it works or not until you try, right?
Until you try. Yeah.
And that's what anything. So
yeah.
As I said, John, I'm asking you a few more questions before we wrap up. If
okay.
anyone watching has any questions that they'd like to ask, feel free to put them in the comments and we'll answer them for you. John, what's one thing you're deeply grateful for right now?
It would be my health, because without health, you can't enjoy life. So that for my age, I'm in fairly decent health. I'm not in perfect health, but I can still enjoy golf. I can still, have my right mind, even though y'all say I'm crazy or whatever, but I would say my health. Yeah.
Great. When you feel overwhelmed, unfocused, or maybe have lost focus temporarily, what do you do? Like, what questions do you ask yourself, or what do you do to get out of it?
Okay, that's a great question, because it's easy to get overwhelmed, especially people that have a 9-to-5, that have kids, then they want to start a real estate investing business as well. Then their kids may have activities and things of that nature. So what I do, and it may seem very simple, is I go back to just a plain old piece of paper and a pen. And I try and sit down and organize, think about my day, organize and plan out how I'm going to spend my time. And just for me, it resonates better with me if I write it down on paper, and then I'll transfer it, to these devices. But when all else fails, I go back to my piece of paper and look at my daily routine, my daily outline, and that shifts. You know, life changes. So you don't have to just say, well, I gotta, and put additional pressure on yourself. And then also I like to get to where if I'm overwhelmed, I'll just get somewhere by myself and just meditate.
Zen out. Just
Yeah.
zen out, right?
Just, yeah.
Gather yourself and just kind of recuperate and kind of go from there. Reset, basically. Reset.
The reset mode. Yep.
Exactly. So John, how do you feel about the current real estate market today?
I feel like now, man, it's one of the greatest opportunities in our lifetime to take advantage of, especially land. Because as I said earlier, compared to all the other forms of real estate investing, land is a baby. It's almost nothing's perfect, nothing's foolproof. But unless you live in the ocean, G, and you're a mermaid, everything we do is on land. But people don't think of it as a way to make money. Yeah. But it is, you know, and it doesn't really matter about inflation or the economy. You just can't go wrong with land.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, and that's pretty true because I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you know, when it's a down market, we're still doing deals. It's just we're paying a little less, we're selling them for less. If it's a high market, we're paying more and selling for more.
And selling them for more, so it balances out.
In a down market, we're going to hold them longer, right? It's going to take a little bit harder. It's harder to sell. It's going to take a little bit longer. But that's why we have certain things that kind of keep us bulletproof as far as like how long we put them out there, how long we have them under contract, you know, different things to make sure we don't lose, right? And as long as you're protecting yourself with those little nuances, then I mean, it's kind of simple to kind of stay on track as far as continuing to do deals and making money, making a profit.
And one thing I also found out doing the land business is that people will let go of a piece of land that's sitting over there as opposed to that house that's the roof over their family's head and they have a lifetime of memories in when people get into a pinch or a crunch. So, I mean, people need to keep that in mind. To me, land is just the best avenue.
Yeah, gotcha. Now, in your opinion, what would you say is the most important trait, strength someone would need to be successful as an investor?
To be able to have self-discipline. Because
good one. That's a really good one.
Because if you don't do it, if you don't set aside the time, if you don't think of it as a life-changing business, no one else is going to do it for you. I mean, we'll provide everything you absolutely need, but you have to have the self-discipline to take action. You have to have the desire to stick with it. You have to have the passion to know that, hey, it may be a little rough right now, but I'm going to change my life and the people like that I love. So,
and that's where the patience comes in too, because I mean, you know, real estate is like a roller coaster ride, like anything else, right? I mean, you have your very good months, you have your bad months, you have months where things are going great, you have other months where you may not close a deal that month. But as long as you're managing your money correctly and continuing to be consistent, as you said earlier, consistent, that's how those that succeed end up succeeding, right? Is because they don't stop. They don't let that down get them down and make them quit, or that too high get them too high, and then they kind of fall flat on their face. So
and I want to say, I want to add this. I know you probably not going to touch on it or ask me this. I was just thinking about this the other day, Ginis, is that I feel like a lot of people self-inflict pressure on themselves, especially in the real estate arena, because you have all these experts out here that are pitching, do a deal in 30 days, do a deal in 30 days, 30 days, 30 days, 30 days. So then when someone tries whatever technique they may be trying, and they don't do that deal in 30 days, it's a huge letdown. Then by having that pressure of 30 days, they feel like they got to do the first deal coming up to them, no matter whether it's a solid deal or not. It can be the most difficult, the last thing in the world they need to be doing as a first deal. And it puts in their frame of mind that I can't turn this down because I'm never going to get another deal accepted. So I wish people would take that off of their plate.
Yeah, I mean, it's more about just knowing that some people, and this is something we always, myself, Jonathan, we always tell people at the end of the day, man, some people get a deal done right away, right?
Yeah.
And others, it takes time. Everybody's at a different experience level,
right.
time frame level. Everybody grasps things differently, right? Not everybody's the same. Right. So it's hard for me to tell you and you that you're both going to do a deal within 30 days when you may not have a good work ethic.
Right.
And you may just go into the wrong county. You may have just, there's a million reasons why things work at the end of the day. But the whole thing is that if you continue to be consistent, if you continue to put out the volume, which is the mailers or the text or whatever, which way you're making your money or trying to get leads, and you respond in a timely manner and you do things within a timely manner, as far as like sending out offers, doing your research, and doing things of that nature, you're going to do a deal. You're going to do it. It may not happen in 30 days. Right. I'll give you a great example. Ryan Wilkins, who's one of our students. It took him several months to do a deal.
It sure did.
But guess what? He did a deal, then he did another deal. Now he just did a deal recently, about a week or two ago. He posted in the Facebook group. In 26 minutes, he got 25% over asking price.
You sure did.
In 26 minutes, he got multiple offers. And within 24 hours, it was under contract by a builder for 25% more than what he was asking for. That just goes to show. And again, that doesn't happen every day. I don't know the last time I got a multiple offer situation. It was on a house several months back, but that's not on land, right? So yeah. At the end of the day, we did get a few questions, John. So let's we got one comment. By Dennis Golf commented that John is a good golfer. And that is true. We was in Arizona, maybe 2017, 2018. And a few buddies, a few of the coaches, we all got together and we're talking and they wanted to go golfing. I'm not a golfer. That's like one thing that I'm not good at. I never really put in the time. I can play every sport. I can hold my own at pretty much anything. We play cards. We can do whatever you want to do. And I can hold my own with it, even if I don't know. Besides golf, I tried it once. I don't know. I didn't like it. My wife hated it when we went, so I just kind of never went back. But we was in Arizona and the scorching hot 100-degree weather, and John was golfing with a few of the coaches, and he used some rented golf clubs and hit a +3 or a -3 or something like that with some rented golf clubs. So after that day, everybody looked at John like, yeah, he don't need no handicap. So yeah, John is really good at golf, though. Seriously, honestly, John is really, really good at golf.
Yes, that's my passion.
So we have another question. How do you handle wholesaling contracts? How do you handle if you don't get an end buyer? Do you guys buy it straight out or cancel the agreement? That all depends on the situation.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you don't find an end buyer, you have those two options. You can buy it outright. If it's a great deal, why not buy it? If it's not that great of a deal, cancel the agreement, right? Let's say, I'll give you an example. I had a landlocked property, had it out for months, didn't get anybody to buy it on it. Neighbors didn't want it. I was pretty much giving it away for free at this point, trying to make just a small amount. Nobody wanted it. There's a junk property at this point, so I just gave it back I just canceled the contract and told the seller, look, man, it's not worth it. We're just canceling the contract. And you don't really have to say much as far as why. Just, hey, line 4 in our contract gives us the right to do this, and we're canceling the contract. It doesn't fit our needs. That's all. Yeah.
And they are protected by using our contracts.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Yep. Most comps show the end buyer's purchase price. How do you then know how to price the vacant lot with the seller? Huh? I'm confused. Most comps show the end buyer's purchase price. That's true. How do you then know how to price the vacant lot? Well, you're purchasing. I get the question now. You make an offer based on, for one, you make an offer based on your research, and we have a calculator that gives you a basic guideline of what we offer, and most people use it. Some people go over that. Again, the calculator is just the baseline, but that gives you a general idea of what people are offering. So you can offer more than that. You can stay within that calculator range. Again, as the market's hot, you are going to want to offer more. As the market slows down like it has been, you want to offer less. So you want to stay within that calculator range. As far as selling, when you're selling the property, you're going to sell it at or near retail value, but you still want to be the cheapest in the area. But if you're asking how to make an offer, which I think is the question you're asking, you're going to make that offer based on what the value is and a percentage of that. And all that's in the Land Riches Blueprint. If you don't have it, it's in there. If you do have it, don't know where it's at, reach out to us and we can show you where that's at in the course. And that'll kind of get you over that little hurdle.
Let me interject one other thing, because a lot of the questions are in our course, but I want to talk to the students for a minute. Once you guys get that course, it is not written in stone that you look at the module one time and one time only, and you're going to know everything. That course is yours. You can look at it as often as you need to in order to gain a good understanding. We don't have restrictions on that course, y'all. So look at it as often as you need to. Also know you're never going to know everything, and don't let that hold you back. So take action.
No, I'm going to say that. I'll just say, John, that's a great point right there. Go ahead and finish, and I'll get back to that.
So take action, review the course, and there's this little thing we have that's called the support team. So when you don't understand something, send in an email and get the answer, but don't let that stop you. I got to know it absolutely perfect before I take action. That's never going to happen.
Yeah, that and ask questions in the Facebook group. We encourage that tremendously. But, kind of going back to that point, John, that's a great point, because you don't understand how many people don't take action because they're over analytical about everything. They feel like they need to know every little detail before it happens. Like, I get people I talk to on a daily basis that are asking me about closings and they haven't even mailed a letter yet. Like, let's cross that bridge when we get there, right? You need to be doing step 1. You're on step 10 already. You're not going to know everything, and you're going to learn as you do things. And it's okay to tell somebody you don't know. You'd rather sound like you don't know versus trying to BS your way around. They see you don't know, and now they don't want to work with you because they feel like you're BSing.
Right.
Honesty is the best policy all the time.
All
Be
the
honest
time.
with people. If you don't know an answer, I don't know. I'll get back with you though. Right? It's easy to do that versus just trying to BS people all the time, because when they see through the BS, you're going to make it more and more difficult for yourself.
That's right. And you lose trust.
Yes, a lot of trust.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point, John. That's a great point. In an assignment contract, you also need both contracts signed with seller and buyer, and then send the assignment contract to the title company. So who sends a deposit to the title company? Me, the wholesaler, or the end buyer? Well, I don't know why you would send any money to the title company deposit. We don't really put deposits. We have on our contract, we have a $50 deposit. I give one time to the attorney that I'm working with. They keep it forever. They don't send it back. We don't play the back and forth game most of the time. So as far as sending deposits, we don't really send deposits. It would be your buyer sending the deposit, earnest money, or due diligence fee to either you or the title company at that point. And we don't do a lot of assignments. We recommend doing double closings. The only time we do assignments is if the profit is very, very small. So that's just another thing. You know, we don't do a ton of assignments. We don't recommend assignments. Some people do. That's okay. If you're making money on the deal, why not do a double closing? Nobody has to worry about what you pay in. There's no arguments at the end of this. No one sees anything. It's just a much cleaner way to do business.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see what else. Yeah, I think that's it, John. John, what is one final thought? John, guys, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to say it now. We're getting ready to jump off here soon. So if you have any other questions you want to ask, whether it's about John, personal, real estate, I know the questions that are coming in about real estate, which is fine. But if you got any questions for John, feel free to ask them now. But John, what is one final thought you want to leave our listeners with?
One final thought would be what I mentioned earlier. Guys, you're not going to know everything about real estate investing. So don't let that stop you from taking action. In most cases, as Ginis said, if you just tell someone, I don't know, I'll get back with you, they will respect you, want to work with you, and in a lot of cases, they'll help you fill in the blanks. So don't think you have to be perfect before you take action, and don't what if. Lord, don't what if. If you want to what if this works? What if I cash a check? What if everyone else is doing it? I can do it too. Okay, so I mean, we're here, the course, we do deals, that course is up to date. We've gone through the majority of the what ifs. It's already happened to Jonathan, it's already happened to Ginis. So we've gone through those what ifs. So just take action, learn the course, implement it, and always know it's your course. You can go back to module 1 4 times if you have to. There's nothing written to say I got to look at this one time and know it like the back of my hand. So that's my advice, is don't let nothing stop you. Be consistent, be passionate. Our system works. Get on that Facebook page, call us.
Be active. Got to be active.
Be active. You just got to be active.
Well, we got a few more questions, John.
Okay.
How do you guys respond to sellers with high asking price? I mean, we just do our research and send an offer based on our offer. And I posted about this recently in the Facebook group. So if you go back into the Facebook group, look up Ginis Garcia, my last post in the group, or my second last, one of them posts recently within the last few weeks. I posted, somebody went onto our website and said, I'm looking for $20,000 for my property. We sent them an offer for $6,600 and they accepted. Okay. Just because they want a high asking price doesn't mean that they will not accept a lower price. They're just telling you what they're looking to get. That doesn't always mean that it's worth it. Everybody sometimes makes up their own price in their head, right? Yep. Based on the value, based on how long they've owned it, based on what they feel, without really doing research. So we never go based on that. We do our research. We mail an offer based on our calculator, based on how we do things. And if they accept, they accept. If they don't, they don't. Move on to the next one.
Just move on.
Everybody's sitting here trying to fight and trying to save a deal that sometimes there's no use in even trying to get. At the end of the day, we make offers. If they sign a contract or they call us back and say, hey, man, I'm interested, but I'll take this. If it makes sense to us and we can still make money, why not? If it doesn't make sense, we just gladly, we just simply tell them no. Hey, I appreciate that. It's out of our price range. This is why. We show them why. We show them properties that sold that are cheaper. And we also let them know, hey, we're in business to make money. We're not in business to do things for free. So if you're looking to get retail, go list it with an agent. Hey, that's fine with us. How you guys reduce their expectations? It's all about having conversations and looking at real information. I mean, looking at real properties that have sold in the area. At the end of the day, they can say it's worth $100,000, or the county even can appraise it at $100,000, you know, or whatever, based on tax value. But that doesn't mean that that's correct. I mean, at the
And
end of the day,
we have scripts in the course. I mean, if you guys read those scripts, you're going to be decent negotiators. You know,
yeah, well, yeah, that's absolutely true. But I'm talking about in general, as far as like people sit here and try to save a deal that's like not even a deal, right? They get somebody to respond to their letter or their offer, and they're like, oh my God, I got to try to get this deal.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you're trying too hard to get the deal.
Yeah.
Now you're looking, you know, like you shouldn't be doing that. We make an offer. If they call us back showing an interest, we try to work it out. If we don't work it out, we just move on.
And that's something I said earlier. They feel like, I got to get this deal. This is the only deal I'm ever going to get in my life. And so there's nothing wrong with turning down a deal. And I noticed a lot of times, I think you posted this or you talked about this follow-up. You know, you may turn that deal down, and then in a month or so, you follow back up with that same individual and the deal goes through. So you're going to get more than one deal accepted. And I think that's implanted by a lot of these big time experts out here, is that 30-day and get a deal. Y'all wipe that off your plate.
Yeah, but plus the reality is also, like, for example, we have a coaching call tonight. On these coaching calls that we do on every other Wednesday night, I mean, a lot of, you know, people ask questions and getting strategies and doing things like that, man. I mean, there's so much valuable feedback that we provide to our students, as far as like just answering their questions, but also giving them the little nuances and things that we actually do every day in our own businesses, right? Which a lot of other investors are not doing that. So, I mean, that's the beauty and the benefit of working with us, is that you're working with myself and or Jonathan. And not only are we helping you guys via, you know, one-on-one calls, we're helping you guys through group chat, through DMs, you know, on Facebook and things of that nature, where you can ask simple questions. We respond right away. We got full email support. So if you want us to check your counties out, if you want us to, you know, help you with whatever it is that you need help with, right? Like, I mean, we have students that we work with. For example, Irina Kent sent us over a list of like 7 counties. Is like, hey, I need you to help me with these, right? Let me know which one you think is best, which one you think is worse. And I mean, obviously it's all on paper, but you know, we do certain things that in order for us to know what counties we're going into. So we do a little bit more research up front, because we're not test mailing. We're not sending out test mails. Oh, go pick out 10 counties and send 300 letters to every county. I mean, you're not going to get a good gauge like that. We do our research up front, and then once we get our list, we mail that list. We mail it. We don't say, oh, we're going to stop at 1,000 because we didn't get no calls. I mean, 3 years ago, we were getting 7-8% response rate. I mean, right now we're getting 2.5 to 3%, right? And some people are getting 1 and 2%. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a different market. Times change. It's up and down, and you just got to be able to roll with the punches. The one thing I will say, we're doing about the same amount of deals we were doing before, but with a lot less work, right? Before we were getting 12% responses, still doing 40 deals a year. Now we're still doing 35, 40 deals a year, but we're doing it on a lot less responses, right? Which means we're doing a lot less work to send those offers. So at the end of the day, man, it's all about being consistent and putting out that value, man.
Right. And the coaching students, that DM chat, direct message with Jonathan and Ginis, man, y'all take advantage of that. I heard Ginis say that people aren't really taking advantage of that, but these guys are giving you their personal information. They're going to take out of their personal daily lives to answer your questions. So y'all utilize your tool. Why have a tool belt if you're not using your tools?
That's true. That's true. Is there a way of getting title insurance when doing a double closing? Yeah, just tell them you don't want it. When we do a double closing, we don't pay for title insurance on our end. If our buyer wants it, they buy it. We don't get title insurance. Yeah. So John, man, I want to thank you so much for being on with us today, man, taking your time out, you know, to allow these students, followers to get to know you a little bit more, and really to see how important you are to our business. And obviously you're very important to myself and my family. But if any of you would like to schedule a free 15-minute consultation to see how we can help you out, we'll put the link in the notes, in the comments. So somebody will put the link in the comments for you. You can always reach out to John or any of our team members by calling us at 980-357-4649. 4545. Again, John, I want to thank you. Thank everybody for watching, man. And listen, so next time, peace, guys.
Peace out, guys. Let's make some money and cash some checks.
That's it. Yeah, have a good one.
Bye-bye.